Welcome to part 2 of our little mini-series, 400 days on the road, travelling around Australia in a hybrid camper and Isuzu D-Max 4-wheel drive with 2 little boys and my wife Sarah sitting next to me. So if you missed part 1, you can go back and watch that. We talked about everything, where we've been, things we've enjoyed, things we haven't enjoyed.
What's going wrong?
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. So this video is going to be covering the costs, and we're going to go into detail. We've kept a pretty good record of everything. I'm sure there will be some mistakes along the way, like when you're paying cash for stuff.
Laundry, fruit.
Like it's just, yeah, there would be some little errors, but for the most part it's accurate, and we're going to cover everything. So yeah, 4 main expenses when you're travelling: camping fees, fuel for your vehicle, maintenance for your vehicle and trailers if you're doing that, and then food. And then beyond that, you've got sort of unexpected stuff, your general expenses.
Attractions.
Yeah, tours and attractions, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, this just covers our costs of travelling. We're not including any bills from at home, so we're not including our stamp duty, not stamp duty. We're not our mortgage repayments. We're not including health insurance. We're not including house insurance, all that sort of stuff. It does cover
Car insurance?
Yeah, so all the car costs, car insurance, camper insurance, rego, our satellite phone that we've got, $65 a month, and
internet.
Yeah, internet, $69 a month, and then our phone plans, which are $300 a year. So yeah, we'll start with the camping and we'll work our way down. You want to go into that?
Okay, so I have to read from here because I do not know all the numbers off my heart. So we try and free camp a lot. So we have free camped 177 nights out of the 400. So a lot of them was the time and we spent in Brisbane for the 7 weeks. So that was with families. That was classified as our free camp. But 65 nights of that 177 were with family and friends. So 112 of the free nights were outside of that. Yeah.
So that's $0. No money
free
at all per night. And then yeah, low cost stuff which we've put under $20. 99 nights.
So most of ours are free or low cost.
Yeah. Nights on private property campsites, so it's sort of informal caravan parks or places like this where you can camp, hip camp, or even a lot of them aren't on hip camp. Was 25, 50 nights in caravan parks. Of that, 14 was catching up with family in Cairns and Port Douglas, and then 14 nights at hip camps, 72 at national parks.
We like doing national parks.
Yeah, we do a lot of that. The most expensive camping that we've done was Paradise Valley
in Victoria,
and also Bel Air Caravan Park in Adelaide, which we went to.
That's like in the city, but it was the cheapest one for the city, and we needed to be in near the city for what we had to do.
Yeah. And Moreton Telegraph Station on the way up to Cape York.
That was expensive.
Was mega expensive. So we've been pretty lucky in the fact that Cooper, even now, he's only just...
He's not quite 5. He's not. Once he turns 5, we'll have to pay for him in more spots. But like half and half of the spots probably we haven't had to pay for him. Yeah.
So camping fees over the 400 nights, $6,205 or $15.50 a night.
So you can do it reasonably cheap.
Yeah, definitely.
I see lots of posts of people saying there's no, you can't do it for that much, but you can because we've done it.
Yeah. So yeah, fuel, again, our setup is reasonably economical. We're not towing a massive van with a big thirsty vehicle. 4,660 litres of fuel, 32,000 kilometres. So fuel economy, 14.5 litres per 100, but if you correct it with the tyre size, it's 13.4 litres per 100. We do sit on 90 k's an hour, it's a lot. The car is a lot happier in terms of temperatures. Also, we're not really in a rush to go anywhere, and it's just
And it's
easier.
a lot safer for us.
Yeah. So yeah, long range tank in that has saved us a bucket load of money. And we do carry a 20 litre jerry can. We haven't really needed it, but it gives me a bit of peace of mind. Yeah, knowing that there is always a bit of backup. So we can do towing. We could probably just get 1,000 k's, I reckon, out of all that fuel. 160 litres essentially, or yeah, just under 150 usable, something like that. Most expensive fuel, $2.65 in Arkaroola, and that was when the fuel prices were pretty low.
Yeah, it'd be more expensive
I imagine it'd be
now.
quite a bit more, but I mean, to be fair, they are
In the middle of nowhere.
in the middle of nowhere, so it's justified, I think. And the cheapest fuel was $1.72 in Townsville.
Yeah.
Although right now, I see there's a few places that are doing it for $1.75, which is pretty nice to see. So yeah, total fuel cost $9,184, or 160 bucks a week. Now we are travelling relatively slow.
Because we don't have just a 12-month limit or whatever, so we...
Yeah, so we said, what did we say, 560 a week in 560 kilometres a week in part one. So yeah, not moving a whole heap, and that means that your fuel bill is down quite a bit. Car servicing has been done primarily by Isuzu. Their dealerships have been pretty good. I always make sure that they do what they're supposed to. They've been pretty good to us. We did have a brake shoe swap done by a local mechanic in Cairns because I couldn't get in anywhere. And we've spent about $3,000 on servicing. So yeah, three services anyway. And aside from the inner guards, we haven't really spent much on it. The alternator.
Touch wood.
Yeah. Yeah. So rego and insurance for the D-Max was $3,040, and the camper $216, and then $900 for the insurance. We did have a service done on the camper trailer. I think it was the day after our 400-day thing. So
that wasn't planned.
It's not included in this. We spent about $2,000. But yeah, up until then we hadn't spent. Oh, we did. We bought a door handle, didn't we?
Yeah.
But really,
We hadn't done, nothing had broken on it.
All right, your turn to talk.
Okay, food. So we normally shop at Woolworths. I just try to shop at Woolworths. I know the layout of most of the shops. I know what they sell, the brands they sell, what we like. And I've got the Everyday Rewards card, and we've joined up with the thing you pay for. I can't remember what it's called. I think we paid $70 for the year, and you get the first month free, and you get a 10% off shop each month at Woolworths and one at Big W. So we just try to do a huge shop once a month, like get all our meat and anything that's like a pantry item. And you can save $50 because you can get up to $500 shop, and you can save 10% off that. So that's $50. So that paid for itself in the first 2 months. And we just keep going back to Woolworths.
We do buy a fair bit from, like where there's roadside stalls, we'll do that.
Yeah, and in local little towns,
produce.
we will stock up on
Markets.
like milk and bread and stuff as well, like from the local IGAs.
Yeah.
But we try to do our big shops at Woolworths because, well, we're on the road full time for now, and we can't
trying to save our
live
money.
on. Yeah.
So do you want to cover our food setup, like the pantry, the fridge, the freezer, all that sort of stuff?
We have an 85 litre fridge in the car, and that works really well. It's an upright fridge. I love it. I hated the, what are they called? Just the chest ones.
Yeah.
That was just a nightmare for keeping like cucumbers and stuff. They used to just freeze up all the time, and it was just, and fruit and veggie got bruised. Yeah, tomatoes would get squashed, and it was just trying to get something out. It'd always be the thing on the bottom, and then can't keep it organised. It was just a nightmare. So that's been really good. That's easy to use. We don't really have any issues. It does frost up a bit, but that's just what we got to live with. We have an 82 litre freezer, and that's in the camper. That's been really good because I stock up on meat. Like if I see meat that's cheap, or if I'm at Woolworths once a month, we can stock up with heaps of meat. We can a month of meat would fit in there. And normally there's a loaf or two of bread and some frozen blueberries and all that sort of stuff. So that's really helpful. And then we have like the pantry. I don't know how big the cupboards would be, but they're like, you know, reasonable
They're
size.
pretty good,
And we can
and we
fit
pack a lot
so
in
much
there.
food in the 4 pantries there. A lot of the other hybrids that we did look at, like, didn't have anywhere near the storage space of that kitchen. So that kitchen is amazing.
Yeah, and then we've got a couple of tubs in the back that we sort of use for odds and ends, and also excess food.
Sometimes I'll have like rice and I think a powdered milk just in case we were remote and ran out of milk because we need our milk. And some pasta. Or Aaron's coffee because we need Aaron's coffee.
Yeah, can't trouble with that coffee.
Anyway, so yeah, that's where we have our food. What was the cost? So our total cost of food is $13,869 for the 400 days, or $243 a week, which is still pretty good. It's probably a tiny bit more expensive than what we would spend at home.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty good. And well, given that since from when we left home to now, like prices I think have gone through the roof, you'll probably find if we were back at home, we'd probably be spending something similar anyway.
Yeah, and then we agreed on an eating out budget before
we had to have a budget, because if I didn't have a budget for eating out or whatever, Aaron would just be like, no, we're always going out. That's him. So I said we needed a budget so that I knew how much what we would have to spend each week on takeaways or bakeries, eating extra ice creams, whatever, drinks, whatever.
Yeah, milkshakes and stuff.
Yeah, so we settled on $50 a week, so I was happy with that. He was happy with that, so that was good. And we stick to that. Like, we're not ones to go out all the time and like eat at a restaurant or buy our coffees all the time. We'll look at the price and decide whether it's worth it or something.
Yeah.
Like, we were on Hamilton Island and the boys wanted ice cream, so we bought them an ice cream and we were going to buy cold coffees or whatever, but we looked at the price.
Oh, it was like $8 for an ice cream or something.
But we looked at the coffee price. Our boat was like 200 metres away and we could make ourselves a coffee there. So we gave the boys ice creams because we're happy enough to do that. Like, they're kids, they want things. We didn't buy anything for ourselves and we'll just go back to camp. Like, that's the sort of thing we'll do. Like, we often make up coffees and have it cold in the fridge and we'll have our cold coffee ourselves that we've made, because it seems ridiculous to pay like $8 for...
Yeah. The other thing is that I think by travelling more remote and going to the places that are sort of away from the big cities, you end up spending less anyway. Like, there's been periods where we've been away, you don't have access to any fast food or whatever for weeks at a time.
That said, we have been to quite a few McDonald's because the kids like McDonald's. But like, because we're not around them constantly, the kids don't see it.
But that budget kind of builds up, doesn't it? So we might be away for 3 weeks
and don't spend anything. Then
you come back and have
you've got
a meal
$150 left.
Yeah.
And we've done quite a few pub meals where like we've stayed at the pubs and we buy a meal there, and that's included.
They're good stays, hey. Like, we can go out and have a meal at a pub for, I don't know, anywhere from $60 to $120.
Yeah. But again, we don't go and buy the most lavish thing on the menu because we just look at what's value.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean the food costs are pretty expensive.
And they'll probably keep going up though, because I have noticed from when we left to now,
the kids
eat more, we go through food a lot more, and often like a tray of chops or whatever, like where they used to be enough for us, like we need like 1 or 2 more bits, so it's going to become a bit more expensive, a bit more challenging to work out how much.
Yeah. So yeah, random costs, a whole heap of things. We put so much stuff under this. So yeah, gas bottle refills. We don't use very much gas because it's primarily induction. Washing machines and dryers at laundromats. New clothes for the kids. We've been through a few kids chairs.
Yeah,
now,
the kids chairs. The kids just Kids.
Toilet chemicals. Our internet is a Telstra dongle, $69 a month. Satellite phone, $65 a month for the plan. We've got some medication that we buy. Sarah had a $600 dental appointment, and she was quoted $15,000 to fix
my mouth.
So there goes your travel budget. If you, like, we have sort of put it on hold for now.
It's not causing me issues, but they just reckon to get my mouth teeth up to standard.
Yeah,
it's $15,000. So
crazy expensive.
We'll do bits when I need to, but not right now.
Yeah, so yeah, replacement awning poles. We had to get a new GoPro that was causing us issues. Ferry costs, parking, fridge repair, a whole heap of random bits and bobs. $8,226. And then our tours, we're pretty selective of what we do. So we did the Victor Harbour Cockle Train, we did the Animal Park. You got to pay for a few four-wheel drive tracks in the Flinders Ranges, Arkaroola and Myrna. Adelaide Zoo, we did a cave tour in Mount Gambier, gold mine tour in Wallala.
That was really good.
Yeah. The Whitsunday cruise is our primary expense.
Of the tours, yeah, that was expensive.
I don't know, it might have been nearly $3,000, I
idea.
can't remember. We did the Sky Rail in Cairns.
Yeah, we spent a lot of money, well not a lot,
train,
but a
yeah.
reasonable money around Cairns and Port Douglas because that's when we had all family over, so we were doing the touristy holiday things
Yeah,
with them.
that's right. We did the aquarium there, we did a Daintree croc cruise. I went out on a Great Barrier Reef snorkeling thing. Sarah,
And diving.
Yeah, diving and scuba, the intro. So Sarah stayed home with the kids. We just decided it wasn't worth. Like the kids are not at the swimming level. They wouldn't have had any.
They
fun.
would have just been trapped on the boat
Yeah, it would have been
all day, and
nightmare.
you had to pay for it. Like,
Yeah. We did the Weeper mine tour in. Yeah, Weeper.
In Weeper?
Duh.
you did it actually, I didn't, because again, it wasn't for. I don't think kids
Oh, I don't
could
think you
do
could.
it.
Yeah, they weren't allowed under 12 or something.
And Aaron would have been more interested in that than me. So.
Yeah, we did two tours in Chillagoe.
No, just one tour.
One in the caves.
In the cave, and then you
That's
did a
worth
self
doing.
guide. Yeah, we loved Chillagoe. Chillagoe
was really good.
We didn't really mention that in our favourite spots, but
Oh,
Chillagoe
yeah, we
was really
should've.
nice.
Yeah, and then we did the Australia Zoo.
Which the kids enjoyed too.
Yeah, that was cool.
We did that for Ollie's birthday. That's what he wanted to do for his birthday, so that's what we did.
Yeah, so $4,219 for tours. So, what you all care about is our total cost. $51,559 or $129 a day or $902 a week.
So you can do it for under $1,000 a week if you want to.
Yeah. And that's, there's costs in there that you could get rid of, like the internet and the satellite phone. Not everyone would have that. So that's, $130 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at what, $1,500-$1,600 a year or something. So yeah, the yearly cost, if you want to do it that way, $47,000. Seems like a lot of money, but I reckon if you sat down and added up your costs at home, you'd probably be surprised. So that covers everything: food, camping fees, eating out, tours, car maintenance, general expenses, laundry, random repairs, DMAX and camper, rego, insurance, everything associated with travelling. And yeah, when you compare it to your costs at home, it's quite interesting actually. So yeah, breakdown of money, $129 a day, $902 a week, or $1.61 per kilometre. So it's 32,000 Ks, $51,559. So the old $1 per kilometre has sort of gone out the window these days.
And you probably could do it
definitely
if you were like a lot slower,
Of course you can.
like a lot slower than us. And
There are pensioners out there that are travelling on a lot less money.
and you just travel for what you got.
Yeah,
So
no,
if you've only got that much money, you just
it is
make sure
doable.
you just use that.
So the breakdown of our total expense, $51,559 for the 400 days, 12% camping fees, 18% fuel, 13% car and camper costs, 33% groceries and eating out.
That's our biggest cost.
Yeah, by a long shot, and sort of unavoidable. Again, you could cut the eating out if you really wanted.
But I don't want to. I love my pies.
No, that's right.
Thank you for using it.
8% for tours and 16% for sort of random costs. Are we happy with our expenses? So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think we've done pretty well, or very well compared to a lot of people. I resigned from my work, and I've got no job to go back to. So we didn't have any schedule. Our intention was to limit how much we spend and try and spread that money out over a longer period. Travel for as long as we enjoyed, or the money lasts, and then head home. So yeah, we did spend a lot of money on that Whitsunday cruise, being tourists in Cairns and Port Douglas with family, but like our fuel and camping costs have been pretty low, so we've done pretty well. Again, you could do it cheaper, absolutely you could do it cheaper, but there's a lot of families spending you know, $1,600, $2,000, $2,500 a week.
Yeah, I often see it mentioned you can't do it for under $2,000 a week, but you certainly can. But different people travel different ways. Like,
yeah, you wouldn't be able to do the
your
caravan
winery
parks and all that
tours
stuff.
and all that. We don't drink, so that's one cost we don't have.
Yeah.
Which other people do, and people find that they drink more on the road because they're often
definitely.
having 5 o'clock, whatever it is,
Yeah.
with other people.
It's Friday night every night. Yeah. So yeah, our setup definitely helps us travel pretty economically. It's small, you know, good fuel economy, good range. We like to be in places away from where you spend tons of money anyway. And the camping fees, like, yeah, we refuse to pay. Like, we'll do it if we have to, but you won't see us paying 50, 60 or more per night for a campsite, because it's, well, one, I don't think it's worth it, and two, it's not sustainable for long-term travel. Like, you just, yeah. No
Yeah,
can do.
and we just do a lot of research on our, like, where we're going to camp. Like, we spent ages trying to find somewhere that's nice, that's affordable, and yeah, somewhere that we need to be, or like an area that we need to be or want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to pay a whole heap of money just to be in a caravan park. To me, that's not enjoyable, but for others it might be.
Yeah. So, has it been worth it
I think so.
in terms of the money you spent?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I reckon definitely.
Like,
We've had so much fun, and the kids have grown in lots of different ways that we didn't expect.
yeah.
And the change of pace on its own has been awesome. So nice to, yeah, be out of the mundane rat race for a while. How do we afford to travel? So we have our house in Perth that is rented out. We own that.
We also have a rental property.
Yeah, we've got a rental property. Not that doesn't
That costs us money, but
yeah.
you know, whatever.
We get an income from our blog, from Forward Driving Australia, and then we get the family tax A and B or whatever it is from Centrelink, and then we've got savings that we can roll back to as well.
Yeah.
We're in a pretty reasonable position. Like, I feel for those that leave with
Nothing, basically.
nothing, and you know, have an older setup or whatever,
and don't have any money to fall back on if something goes wrong. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have to stress if something goes wrong, because we we might not like to spend the money, but we can afford to have the money there.
We've worked
to
ourselves
fix the
pretty
problem.
hard to have that. To me, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that, and Sarah probably wouldn't either. We're just not that sort of people. We don't like to wing it, and you know.
Aaron doesn't like to see his bank balance going down at all. Doesn't matter how low.
Yeah. And we're definitely not wealthy. Like, we're not wealthy by any means. But yeah, we're pretty sensible with our money.
We're careful. We both are by nature. Aaron's more so than me, but we both are by nature.
Yeah.
We just do.
Yeah. So yeah, you can cover the next thing. Are we frugal, babe? Are we frugal?
Are we frugal? We are. Well, Aaron's very frugal. I'm a little bit frugal. But we don't be frugal. Like, we're not eating rice and beans.
Nah, I think we're pretty
We
sensible,
enjoy
mate.
life, but we just consider the cost of things. We don't just go and throw money out. Well, not that we have the money to throw out, but we don't just go and spend it because we can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we do lots of things to save money. So cheap campsites, food in bulk,
I'll be back.
economical food. We don't eat out that much. We skip heaps of the paid experiences. And we look after our gear is probably a big one. You know, you can be pretty rough on your gear, and then eventually it breaks down and you got to spend a lot to replace it or repair it. So how long can we sustain travel? Well, we'll see how the blog goes. We can keep travelling now for a while. Our intention is another year, maybe
Another,
2.
year and a half, 2 years sort of thing.
I
Ollie
don't know.
has just started recently, just a couple of times, going, oh, I want to go home, there's stuff I want to do at home.
Yeah,
But it's not
in a-
majorly, but
Yeah.
he has just, that's the first time, like, he's said that. So that's the first time anyone's really said that. So,
Yeah.
like, we'll take that on board too. Like, we're not going to go straight home because he says that. But if it comes to a stage where it's really
Yeah, we're there over it, or we're over
Yeah.
it, then we'll head home.
slowly, like, we wouldn't just, like, be, okay, we're going straight home. But we'd like, okay, we're going to
Yeah.
make our way.
So yeah, the blog, it's been pretty badly hit recently actually by some algorithm changes by Google. Good on them. they rolled out you know, a whole heap of updates which changed the way that websites are shown on Google. They called it their helpful content, which, you know, has brought a whole heap of rubbish up to the top. And we got hit quite badly along with a whole heap of other bloggers. So I don't know whether that'll come back or not. We'll see. But obviously that plays a big role in our income and how we can travel. So yeah, I think that's it from us. Anything we've missed, or you've got questions, comments, whatever, let us know. We have a Q&A in part 3 that we're going to go through some questions that have been sent through. And yeah, thanks for following along, and please subscribe to the channel if you can. Give us a thumbs up.
And comment. We really
Comment,
like
yeah, let us know what you think. See you later.